Hello! In this video, we demonstrate the installation and use of SpanKey SSH Key Management solution. At this point, we have already configured the SpanKey Server and WebADM administration interface. For more information on those steps, please see our other videos. First, we configure and install the SpanKey client on a Linux server. We start with adding the RCDevs repository to the server for easy installation and updating of the software packages. Next, we install the software packages using Yum Package Manager. The next step is to run the SpanKey client setup script, which asks for the WebADM server IP address and other configuration settings for the SpanKey client. After we have provided the settings, the setup script connects to the WebADM server and requests a client certificate. This certificate is used to secure the communications between the SpanKey client and server. We open the WebADM interface and accept the client certificate request. Next, we edit the SSH server configuration file. First, we enable public key authentication. And then we disable password authentication. Whether this is required depends on your use case and the existing settings on the SSH server. Now we restart SSHD service for the configuration changes to take effect and start NSCD to clear the NSCD cache. The final step on the client setup is starting SpanKey client service, after which we can see on the WebADM log that the SpanKey client has requested a list of users and groups from WebADM. If we then issue the command getEnt passw, we can see the Active Directory users on the Linux client. In the next part of our video tutorial, we show how Active Directory users can be extended to be used on Linux or UNIX server. First, we open the WebADM interface and use the directory browser to select the Active Directory user which we want to use on Linux. We then open the Add Extension drop-down menu, select UNIX account and click Add. Next, WebADM asks us to define the settings for the UNIX extension. We change the UID and leave the other settings with their default values. Now we have 3 Active Directory users which have been extended and can be seen on the Linux server using getEnt passw command. On the right-hand terminal window, we can see the 5 additional users that are now returned with the getEnt passw command, which are coming from the Active Directory. Now we show how to generate SSH keys for the users and how to use them in authentication. We again find the user in question in the WebADM directory browser. We then select SSH Public Key Server under Application Actions and select Register SSH Public Keys, followed by Generate a new public-private key pair. Then we save the private key for later use in authentication. We repeat these steps for the 2 other users in this tutorial. It is also possible to enable users to generate their own SSH keys using the Self-Desk portal, or you can upload public keys which are tied to private keys stored on a smart card or PIV token. We now have 3 private keys in PEM format which we can use for authentication. To use the keys with SSH, we must ensure the keys are only accessible by the user. which we do using the chmod command. Now we can connect to the Linux server which we previously configured with SpanKey client. The authentication is done with the private key we generated in WebADM. There is no need to copy the public keys to the server. As you can see, the connection succeeds and the WebADM log shows that the user authenticated with SSH key through SpanKey. Then we repeat the test with the two other accounts. As the next step, we add second factor authentication to the public key authentication. This is done in WebADM under Applications, SSH Public Key Server Settings. We enable the require second factor setting and redo the SSH login. As you can see, we now get a push notification into our mobile soft token requesting us to either approve or reject the login. In the next part of this video, we configure and test a master group. Master group is a group whose members are allowed to log in with any account on the destination server. We select the group we want to use as a master group in the directory browser to see the group membership. After reviewing the group membership, we go to the SSH Public Key Server settings, enable master group, and select the group we want to use. In this case, the IT web group. Now, let's test the master group, which should allow its members to log in with any account. We again connect with SSH using the previously generated PEM key file for authentication. But instead of connecting to the same account for which the key was generated, we log in as the administrator account. As you can see, the connection succeeds. For further confirmation, we repeat the test with another account. The connection succeeds. In this part of the video, we demonstrate shared accounts. This allows you to define an active directory group whose members are all allowed to log in to the specified account. We again use the directory browser to find the account which we want to use as a shared account. In this case, it is the account webmaster, and we click configure next to the WebADM settings. On the following SpanKey application settings page, we enable the authorized group and select the group IT web. Now, any user of the selected group can log in to the webmaster account. Let's test. The main benefit of master group and shared accounts compared to using shared keys is that the user is identified individually and clear audit trail is maintained. As you can see, the connection succeeds. For further confirmation, we repeat the test with another account. The last topic of this video is SSH terminal session recording. If session recording is enabled in WebADM under SpanKey settings, the sessions are recorded to a secure storage and can be viewed in WebADM. Let's have a look at the recordings of the previous demonstrations. We open the Databases page and select Recorded Sessions. On the following page, we see a list of the recorded sessions with all the key information like start time, stop time, username, and IP addresses. If we click the View button next to the recorded session, a player opens. We can then start the playback by clicking the Play button. You can fast forward and jump backwards on the playback as well as adjust the speed of it. That completes this tutorial. For the required software packages and instructions, please visit www.rcdevs.com. Thank you.